Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR. Today we're going to have a 1v1 on Semoskiy Winter. Once again, this is from the round of 128 from the Sunday Night Fights Season 5 tournament. So, pretty much all the maps except for the second one that I casted in this, which was on the non-winter version. I'm pretty sure every other one is in the winter version, or at least it should be. So anyways, our heroes today are going to be 3imWeckla. Playing for the Soviets, and we have 1C or Onec playing for Germans. As far as the players themselves go, we have the highest rank being Weckla, and he's currently ranked around the 200s in his Soviet play. And on the seeding, we have Weckla being 40th and Onec being 89th. So, I mean, hopefully we'll see a good game here, a decently matched game. So yeah. Anyways, strategy-wise, Onec got himself his doctrine already, and that is the Ostrupen doctrine, so he's getting, well, Ostrupen. Already up to 5 Ostrupen on the map right now, and he's sending all of them into the center of the map. We see them capping. Once again, remember, Ostrupen cap at half the speed as other units, so they take a while, but well, you can have a lot of them on the field, so that means you can slowly cap a lot of the map. Ostrupen getting into cover, taking some shots at those conscripts. Once again, remember, Ostrupens are not fighters. They need to get themselves into either cover, preferably heavy cover, or into houses. Ostrupen stopping out in the open. They take a shot or volley from those conscripts, and down goes one Ostrupen very quickly. And the Ostrupens are continuing to move along, and they're probably going to jump into the house, which is pretty much the best thing they can do, although no, they decide to actually stay on the open and support the Pioneers. The Pioneers, a lot hardier than the Ostrupen, decide to move in, get themselves into heavy cover, and push away those conscripts that were trying to capture the fuel. The conscripts see the Ostrupen and say, wait, we could actually stop here. Now the conscripts are surrounded, Pioneers coming right on top of them with their SMGs, and Ostrupens firing from all directions. Second conscript squad moving into support, can actually get right on top of the other Ostrupen squad and do a lot of damage. Conscripts originally in the fight down to 4 men themselves. They have done a lot of damage to the Ostrupen squad, but they are forced off of the field. They don't want to take losses or risk taking more losses. And they actually go down to 3 men on the retreat. Second conscript squad, in support here by Weckla, jumping the fence, trying to go against the Pioneers. They're trying to ignore the Ostrupen. And the combat engineers on the right-hand side, facing against Ostrupen all over the place. So, Ostrupen is usually what you see. Probably going to be expecting a tech to tier 2 and getting a fast half-track, one would assume. So more conscript squad moving into the zone. The conscript squad up north is down to about half health. 5 men should be able to beat these Pioneers, even though the Ostrupens are there providing support. And we have Weckla with no Molotovs. Molotovs would actually be pretty good here against those Ostrupen. They can do a lot of damage if they get caught, like in this situation out in the snow. But Weckla decided to get himself 4 conscript squads and now Molotovs. So no 3 into Molotovs, it's 4 into Molotovs. So Pioneers do finally get forced off of the field. The conscripts do manage to hold their ground. There are 3 men now getting supported by a 5-man conscript squad. And another conscript squad is coming down the road. 2 conscript squad actually for Weckla, pushing against 1 Ostrupen squad. Molotovs now upgraded, probably going to toss 1 into this house, one would assume. And the conscripts just going along their way, getting tickled by those Ostrupens. And no, they're not even going to throw Molotovs. They don't even want to waste their Molotovs in there. Conscripts jumping into the church, going to deny the Ostrupens of that big building in the center, while conscripts outside capture territory. Down south, we see Ostrupen capturing more territory, moving along all over the place. And yeah, nothing else being produced right now for Onec. And Weckla is just fighting small skirmish fights all over the place. Flamethrower equipped on the engineers, that's going to be wonderful against the Ostrupen. Look at that damage go down. Ostrupen down to about half health. One more burst gets one more guy. They are retreating in between 2 conscript squads, 1 in the church, 1 outside, down to 2 men. I think they're actually going to die. I don't think they're going to make it. Wow, actually they do make it out alive. Very low in health, but do manage to make it out alive. Molotov wind up right on top of that Ostrupen squad. Nice hit. Gonna do a lot of damage. Look at that damage go down to 2 men. That squad isn't gonna make it. Nope, there it goes. 1 Ostrupen down for Onec. In the favor of Weckla, I suppose I could say. And And the half-track is now getting produced, so yeah, that's what we assume. Straight into Tier 2, getting a half-track. That half-track will probably get upgraded with the flamethrowers right away. And yeah, but the Ostrupens are getting pushed off of the field. They're trying to hold the ground as much as they can, but those 4 conscript squads are able to go toe-to-toe against the 5 Ostrupens any day of the week. And the Ostrupens are just dropping like flies all over the place. Ostrupen for Onec down south, just capturing territory. We see conscripts for Weckla pushing onto the fuel point. And yeah, they'll be able to capture that quite quickly. Frontal point, we see the half-track. We can't actually see if it's upgrading because it's not the selected player, but he probably is. Conscripts do decide to retreat. They are down to 3 men, and if the upgrade pops, they could actually get wiped out instantly if they get critted. 18-8's getting research for Weckla. He is going to be able to toss that at the half-track if it gets too close, but the half-track decides to just keep its distance and use the Ostrupen as a meat shield and just fire with its guns. So no flamethrower upgrades just yet. We shall see if that is his decision. And there goes the flamethrower upgrade. He pushes forward and is now going to start burning those conscripts. The conscripts will throw an 18-8 before retreating. No? No, they actually are trying to run away. Oh, yeah, 18-8 did go down. Okay, well, I missed exactly who did that. Or was that a mine? I think that was a mine. Never mind, actually. Conscript does get burned on the retreat, so Weckla does lose one of his conscript squad. And yeah, there's the crater, so the half-track actually hit a mine. Very nicely placed mine there by Weckla. Engineers do decide to retreat, and Tier 2 is up for Weckla. Let's see what he decides to get from that, or if he's just using that as a stepping stone to get Tier 3. Which is usually what you expect when you see Tier 2. Half-track in the center needs to get repaired. Do we actually have pioneers? We do. Where are they? Over here. There you go. Ostrupen decapping the southern strategic point for Weckla. Do get forced off very quickly. You know, conscripts only need to show their face and the Ostrupen usually retreat. And we now have a Panzer Grenadier on the field for Onec. Combat infantry now on the field, which will help him out quite a bit. So this is pretty much a standard build. I mean, this is what we saw last time from who was it? Sage of the Six? Yeah. You know, 6 Ostrupen into Panzer Grenadiers and half-track. So yeah, this is what we're seeing. And the Ostrupen are dropping like flies, trying to get themselves into the house. Only 4 of them make it into the house. Can't get reinforced on the inside the house, but there are units nearby to help out. Molotov landing in the church. The Ostrupen say, okay, that's our cue to leave. And the second Ostrupen squad jumps into the other house. Ostrupen get reinforced back to full strength very quickly. And the half-track is now back at full strength. We'll be able to move along and start burning those conscripts. Down south, Ostrupen, they actually got the house denied to them. They're getting shot by the conscripts. This conscript squad decides to retreat. While only at 5 men, not exactly sure why it retreated that quickly, but there is a half-track coming in this direction, so this conscript squad down to 2 men on the retreat, and the one in the house will have to evacuate and retreat as well. So nice move there by Onec, managing to maintain territory and capture and push away all the infantry for Weckla. Weckla got himself an AT gun from his Tier 2, so he might be able to catch that half-track unaware, but he would need to follow it up with maybe a conscript to get an 18-8 off, and then, you know, follow it up with the AT gun so that it would kill it that way. But mine getting laid down here by Weckla. The combat engineers do stop to fight the Ostrupen. The Ostrupen will actually lose that fight. This Ostrupen squad is now actually veterancy 2, which gives it increased accuracy and an increase in durability. So these guys are, you know, going to be a little bit more useful than your standard Ostrupen squad. Still not great, but, you know, at least it's not a vanilla Ostrupen squad. Panzer Grenadiers forcing away a conscript squad. The AT gun takes a shot into the center, but doesn't actually nail anything. And a Molotov landed on an Ostrupen squad, trying to see if it could kill it, but the Ostrupen should walk away, and they'll get reinforced by that half-track. AT gun taking some shots at the Ostrupen. An artillery barrage could actually do wonders there if he decides to activate it. It looks like he might. No, he turns his gun a little bit, just aiming at them, but no, nothing else. Okay. So conscripts going to the center. Ostrupen in that house, just occupying territory. Another Molotov will land, forcing the Ostrupen to evacuate or get burned alive. Although, oh yeah, looked like he might have actually tossed it outside, but no, he does. Molotov landing on the Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadier, one of them gets cooked alive. The Ostrupen in the house just actually tank that like a boss. They don't really care much about it. Only one of them goes down. Actually, it makes living in the house a little bit more comfortable. It gets a little bit, less cold. And Ostrupen continue to push on forward onto the cutoff point, trying to deny the left-hand side territory for Weckla. So Weckla is in a little bit of a tough spot. He doesn't have much on the field right now to battle the sheer amount of infantry. Ostrupen did get replaced, the one that got lost, so it's back up to 6. And now 2 Panzer Grenadiers. While the conscripts are able to fight this quite easily, they are not able to gain a lot of ground in the territory because there's just so many Ostrupens. However, Weckla does have himself tier 3 already on the field and, well, producing already. So he should be able to get something. He doesn't have a lot of fuel, so I would assume he's going to get himself a T-70, which the T-70 would be great. Combat engineers retreating. They are retreating through the path of a Panzer Grenadier squad, but the Panzer Grenadiers are now engaged against 3 conscript squads. Very nice bundle lane right there on top of 1 squad. Actually forces a full rout of the entire infantry there. And Onec must be feeling pretty good in this situation. Victory points. Weckla is down to 361, while Onec is sitting comfortably at 495. Currently triple capping Weckla, so he's going to be bleeding those points quite profusely. Half-track up in the fuel point, doesn't have anything nearby to cap. We have a Ostrupen squad moving there to cap, while a second Ostrupen squad is also going in the direction. This one will be able to get reinforced on the field, while the Ostrupen over here retreated. We have Pioneers back at base, and Ostrupen there also just sitting, not doing much. And we have tier 3 for Onec, so we'll see if he gets himself a... Oh, he is actually getting himself something, and it looks like it's a Stug. Interesting. Okay. So in that situation, it would probably not be the best idea for Weckla to get himself a T-70. He does have the fuel to get one now, if he saves up on the manpower. Actually, no, he can afford it right now. So he might be waiting for the T-34, we shall see. But yeah, that Stug, it could actually prove to be very difficult for Weckla to deal with. And so far, the entire territory, pretty much, except this point right here outside Weckla's base, is in control for Onec. Oh, well, this one too. So, aside from 2 points, Onec has the entire map and is triple capping. Weckla is now about to dip below 300 points, so still has a lot of time. Still has some time, but it's going to start to get a little bit desperate very soon if he doesn't, do something about it. So conscripts pushing forward. No doctrine still selected for Weckla. Not exactly sure why he hasn't selected it. I mean, he does have options. Soviet shock would probably be a very good one right now. Getting shock troops and PPSHs on his conscripts, he could actually clear out Ostrupen squad very quickly if Onec isn't careful. But, well, he hasn't selected anything yet, so we'll see what comes into play later on in the game. Half-track moving straight onto the field. It's going to get right on top of that conscript squad, cooking it alive. Conscripts will throw an 18-8 on it, disabling the engine, but they will have to retreat. Get veterancy 2 in the process, and they will retreat quite quickly, getting out there alive. T-70 hitting the field for Weckla. He did produce himself that one. Will potentially take out the half-track, but he will lose the T-70. There goes the half-track. T-70 manages to mask itself behind the house against that Stug. The Stug doesn't actually land another shot on it, and the T-70 will actually make it home free. Very nice. That is the problem with the Stug, obviously. It doesn't have a turret. If it had a turret, it could have just simply moved a little bit and get an angle at the T-70. But the situation, T-70 makes that out alive, eliminates the half-track out of the field, so now he's in a very nice position. Especially because the Ostrupen will have to retreat every time to be able to stay on the field as opposed to getting reinforced. So this should give Weckla an opportunity to push onto the map. He is now down to 229 points, so he's going to be dipping below 200 points very soon if he doesn't gain those victory points. Conscript squad gets almost annihilated completely to a very nice bundle aid. Look at all those corpses there. Incredible damage. They did throw a Molotov on that Panzer Grenadier squad, but they just simply walked out of it, so they're fine. And it almost got wiped out, down to 1 man. Very low health on the retreat, but, well, at least it's alive. Right-hand side, we see a trench actually dropped by one of the Ostrupen, it looks like. But combat engineers are not using that to cap. I'm not sure if they actually can. They might be a little bit too far away.
200 points remaining.
Panzer Grenadiers shooting at the conscripts. The conscripts do move. The T-70 moves forward, taking some shots at the Panzer Grenadiers. The Panzer Grenadiers close the angle so the T-70 can't actually shoot them. And the T-70 looks like it actually wants to go through the other side of the hedge. Ooh, very nice Molotov. If he no, the T-70. Oh, can the T-70 catch him in the open? He does, but the Stug is right there. Oh, he does take out the Panzer Grenadier squad, but the Stug takes a shot. Can he actually move away? He is locked, kicking himself in a corner. Stug misses. T-70 keeps on looking backward, and ooh, this T-70 makes it out. T-70 needs to keep on going, and oh no, it's getting pathed. Path AI, horrible, and there it is. AT gun is set up to fend off that Stug, and it looks like the T-70 will make it out alive. So it looks like the horrible pathing was because he simply chose to move it in this direction, and it just did all that by itself. Okay. So flamethrower equipped Pios facing off against flamethrower equipped combat engineers. They jump into the trench, which isn't the best thing to do against a flamethrower, because that, if I'm not mistaken, increases the amount of damage you take. Whoa, very nice burst there by the Pios. Actually brings it down to one man, and they retreat. Can they make it alive? No, gets roasted alive by those Pios. So down goes the combat engineers for WeckLa with the flamethrower completely. Second combat engineer squad on the field for WeckLa, however, allows him to repair that T-70, and now he selects the shock rifle frontline tactics. Well, actually, that's pretty good doctrine. Shock troops will allow him to combat all those Ostruppens very easily and potentially wipe them out. And he has the option of getting a KV-8. He is very far away from the fuel to getting it, about halfway there. But yeah, he is getting himself a shock troop squad, very nice. So that'll allow him to fight down to 11 points though for WeckLa. That is cutting it very close. T-70 still moving around, doing some very nice damage. Can he finish off that Panzer Grenadier squad? He's going for it. He's trying to finish it off, but he's getting stuck in the heavy snow. The Panzer Grenadiers are running through the ice, and they're going straight home. The Stug is not anywhere to be seen. It's up north. Horrible place for it to be, but the T-70 decides that it's not worth the risk, and it's just simply turning around. Flak Panzer getting produced for Onec. He knows that there's only a T-70 on the field, so that is an excellent choice. Ostruppen getting caught by the T-70. Can he finish him off? No, he's actually going in a different direction, going against Panzer Grenadiers, a high-value target. Very nice. Could have actually finished off the Ostruppen, however, but if these Panzer Grenadiers don't get supported, the Stug is up north. It's actually getting chased by conscripts. Could actually get 18-8'd. Might have actually... No, it hasn't actually taken an 18-8. And the Panzer Grenadiers continue to get harassed by that T-70. Down to 2 men. Needs to be retreated right away. I think this Panzer Grenadier is toast. He might be focusing elsewhere, his attention, and there goes the Panzer Grenadier. So yeah, he's probably focusing on the T-7, the Stug, fighting against this AT gun and the conscripts moving around. Conscripts should potentially throw an 18-8 on top of it to snare it. And the T-70 is moving in to support. It can actually do some decent damage against the Stug. It's gonna, well, I mean, not decent. It can do damage against the Stug, especially against his rear armor, and especially since the Stug can't, turn around in time. So I think the Stug is actually gonna die to the T-70. So this is an ace T-70. It's gonna clear out a Stug by itself. AT gun does turn around though, and probably gonna take the kill from the T-70, which is quite unfortunate. And there, well, no, actually the T-70 gets it. So this guy has 2 vehicles to his name, and now Veteran C2. Veteran C2 increases the weapon damage and reduces the damage taken, so the T-70 will be much harder to take out. There is a Flak Panzer on the field, however, which can still very quickly take out a T-70, so he needs to be careful about that. Half-track on the field for Onec, again, maintaining that to be able to reinforce on the fly. Another squad down over here on the left-hand side for Onec, so he's losing squads left and right. The shock troops are back at base, so they're not the ones actually clearing out. And down in the center, we see a conscript squad getting burned alive by the flamethrower engineers, landing a Molotov on those Ostruppen. Very nice. They have to exit that trench, and the conscripts trying to do something against that Pioneer. The Pioneer now is going to get shot by the T-70, and down goes the Pioneer squad. Down to 2 men on that conscript squad, does force a retreat, but that T-70 now has 23 kills to its name. Flak Panzer on the field trying to chase down that conscript squad down to 1 man. The T-70 intercepts it. Actually, oh wow, was that Well, AT gun decides to execute the T-70 because he didn't like him.
AT gun here.
Okay. Well, ambush tactics activated for Weckla. That is a clutch move. Very nice. You don't usually see that used. So he has the frontline shock. I mean the shock rifle frontline tactics, which gives him the anti-tank ambush tactics. So the Flak Panzer saw the anti-tank gun and he popped the ability and cloaked them and just simply moved them out of the way so they wouldn't shoot. And the Flak Panzer didn't know what happened and just moved along. Very nice. Anyways, T-34 on the field for Onec. He, well, got something there to replace his lost T-70. There is a Panzerschreck equipped Panzer Grenadiers, but the Flak Panzer is now in a very tough spot. The T-34 is very capable of killing the Flak Panzer very easily, and the Flak Panzer will do damage to the T-34, but not enough. Flak Panzer now down to a sliver of health. Weckla, however, is down to less than 50 points. He's down to 48. He's basically in a very desperate position. This is all or nothing. The Flak Panzer does get a circle strafe on the AT gun, but gets 18-aided by the conscript, so it gets cleared out. So Onec no longer has any armor on the field. The T-34 is going to reign supreme. There is a Panzerschreck equipped Panzer Grenadier moving into it, but we now have shock troops right on top of it. The shock troops should be able to deal with all this quite easily. Well, never mind. There is a Panzer Grenadier squad with no Shreks nearby, so those will actually rinse these shock troops. Down to 40 points. He does have the leftmost victory point captured, which means that he will be slowing down the bleed to 1 point, but this is getting down to the wire. Bundle nade going down on the shock troops, forces the retreat down to 3 men. Oh, very nice shot there by the Panzerschreck. Actually nails one of the shock troops on the retreat, but they're still at 2 men, so they make it out. Second shock troop on the field for Weckla, pushing on to the center victory point. Nice nade on the... No, actually, not a very nice nade. A nade went down on the Panzer Grenadiers, but they didn't actually manage to do much. Second squad actually gets equipped again with a Panzerschreck. Oh, very nice bundle nade on the shock troops, not allowing them to stay on the field very long. Down to 3 men. They are able to still stay on the fight because those are only one Panzer or Sturmgewehr rifle shooting at them from the Panzer Grenadiers. And there's a Vet 2 conscript squad coming up for support, but all those Panzerschrecks actually scare them off, and they are forced off. Right-hand side, we see a combat engineer going for the victory point, trying to stop that bleed, down to 25 points. Can he actually stop the bleed? This is going to be down to the wire. Conscript squad are getting engaged by Ostrupen, or delayed by Ostrupen. They do throw a nice Molotov right outside of the door, or was it... Well, I don't know what that was exactly. Either the Molotov landed on the wall, or he tossed it at the door and... Well, whatever it was a very nice Molotov. Cooked alive almost the entire Ostrupen squad. Up north, or left-hand side, we see a squad actually die over here. Not exactly sure what it was. Was it Ostrupen? Might have been Ostrupen or Pios, potentially. Get wiped out by the T-34. And finally, we see Weckla stopping the bleed at 17 points. And we now see something being called in. What is it exactly? It's railway? Oh, very nice shot there, but no, actually doesn't kill much. Only killed one conscript off of each squad. And they move out of the way. But at the very least, Weckla has stopped the bleed. Stug moving into the center, gets 18-aided by those conscripts, and now has a damaged engine. Do we still have the AT gun on the field? The AT gun is over here. It's not crewed, obviously, but it could potentially get recrewed by Weckla. Oh, railway artillery actually almost lands on top of that Stug, doing a lot of damage to it. Not the best thing to do. And the shock troops are now moving in to get that point. The Ostrupen rushing in, trying to actually stop the cap, but they're surrounded by infantry and are just sacrificing their life for nothing. And down they go, and this guy decides to jump in frustration. T-34 looks like it's getting hunted by the Stug, but the Stug doesn't have a turret and has a damaged engine, so this should be very easy pickings for the T-34. The T-34 decides to move around and is now going to get up behind the Stug and shoot it in the rear armor. Conscripts rush forward towards the Stug and decide to put themselves in front of its... okay, not exactly sure what's going on there. The conscripts decide to put themselves in front of the threads of the Stug, and the T-34 almost kills itself by putting itself in front of the gun of the Stug. It could just simply keep on circle strafing, and the Stug can't do anything against it. But luckily for Weckla, he managed to keep it alive, and now we see the Panzer Grenadiers going for the victory point over here, and oh well. Ostrupen on the right-hand side are not going to win against these conscripts. The conscripts could even Molotov them. They're all clumped up together. So Onec will stop the bleed in his direction. He's still at 452 points, but he will not be able to put the bleed back on that. And he's at 17 points. Might also be getting some little bit of a tunnel vision there for the victory points, but he still has some things over on the side. Although yeah, he's sending his Ostrupen straight for the points, which is not what you want to do. You have a lot of points in your name. And we now have a KV-8. I never actually noticed that or mentioned it. KV-8 on the field for Weckla. That is gonna kill all the infantry for Onec. He could even, well, I mean, there are Panzerschrecks, so he needs to be worried about that. There is a drop Panzerschreck over here on the left-hand side, which Weckla could put to good use. But I mean, considering how fast KV-8s kill stuff, he could actually send this straight into Onec's space and wipe out all his infantry. He only has infantry. And Ostrupen, you know, like I said, their uniforms are lined with kerosene and they just ignite instantly. Like, they don't even need to get shot at and just simply burst into flames. Ostrupen squad trying to make their way into the house. They will actually do it, but it's only one man left. And even with the defenses of the house, with a shock troop nearby and a conscript there, he dies inside the house. There is a, what is it, fuel? Fuel cache on the strategic point outside of Onec's base. Oh! Nice railway artillery on the victory point. Conscript squad down to one man, having to retreat. Second shot landing, can it actually land? Oh, it does land on the shock troops, but only 2 men actually die, and they will make it out alive. The KV-8 is circling around the area. Might actually get hit by the railway. No, move it out of the way. You don't want to put it there. Oh, wow, that was a very nice shot. It lands right on top of the KV-8 and brings it down to less than half health. That's why I was saying that's not exactly what you want to do. Conscripts working on the fuel cache, just shooting it as much as they can. Ostrupen moving around here on the right-hand side victory point, but they are just hiding there. They're not actually going for it. Still has 380 points to his name, Onec does, so he might have a chance. Incendiary barrage landing by Weckla right outside of the strategic point actually scares away the Panzer Grenadiers, so they're forced off. Still only 4 Ostrupen squads and 2 Panzer Grenadiers on the field for Onec. Not a lot. KV-8 back here, not getting repaired. Combat engineers on the field. One of them are going right hand. I would actually suggest that he sends it over here to repair that, but he is using it to build a fuel cache, so I suppose that's fine. Conscripts do execute a Ostrupen squad, it looks like, although another Ostrupen squad is back on the field. And on the right-hand side, we see an Ostrupen squad getting mauled by the T-34, while the other one is still there in front of it, capturing territory. Unfortunately, the T-34 is not the best against infantry, even if they are Ostrupen, and the Ostrupen will jump into the house. Up north, we heard a grenade. No? Where? Well, I heard grenades, but I'm not exactly sure where. And the Ostrupen are getting burned alive in that shack by that Molotov. Down to 1 man, it will die, and there goes another Ostrupen squad. And for some reason, oh, okay. I guess we're a little bit delayed there on the overlay, which is fine. As long as we can get a broad idea, it's fine. Nice bundle laid on top of the shock troops. Actually, not nice. They managed to dodge it completely. Return nade by the shock troops. Does some good damage to those Panzer Grenadiers. Second nade going down, and actually that doesn't do anything. And the shock troops, both squads are getting pretty battered. T-34 moves in with its ability to activate it, so it doesn't shoot back. Takes a little bit of a volley there by the Panzerschrecks and moves a little bit out of sight. Shock troops still working on those Panzer Grenadiers, doing a lot of damage, but the Panzer Grenadiers are very hardy. They are both Veteran C2 and Veteran C2. They get, these guys. Veteran C2, they get increased armor. Should get increased armor. Yeah, there we go, increased armor. So they are very difficult to take down. T-34 trying to run down these Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers doing a lot of damage to the T-34. They are continuing to pursue while being pursued by a shock troop squad. Shock troop squad over here does manage to keep the point in its favor. And can they actually finish off that shock troop? I mean, that Panzer Grenadier? No, the shock troops are too few of them right now, so they won't be able to finish it off.
What are your orders?
Conscripts in front of the base. Conscripts over on the fuel point, and actually in front of the base as well. So right now, Onec has no territory to his name. He is able now to produce a Panzer IV, so he's fine. But Weckla is also capable of producing himself a IS-2. I mean, he doesn't have the fuel for it right now. He has the manpower, but you know, in a little while he'll be able to do that. He's going to cap this point, and he's going to have the rest of the map in his possession. So that's a lot of income. So shock troops over here, just holding territory. We have Ostrup continue to move through that side. The Panzer IV is going on the right-hand side, so it will be able to support. KVA did finally get fully repaired. The T-34 is somewhere around here getting repaired. Where is it? Let's just select it over here. Oh, look, it's right in front of me. Never mind. Did get fully repaired, and the Panzer IV is hitting the field. The shock troops can't do anything against it. Shock troops can still, however, hold their ground a little bit until it goes for the crush, which it is doing right now. And it's just going to sit on top of them and take some shots. Shock troops are trying to kill off the Ostrupen. Wow, very nice shot there by the Panzer IV. Brings that squad down to one man. Forces the retreat, but they land a nice nade on those Ostrupen, getting some veterancy as they retreat out of Bed 2. Bed 2 gives them the ability to survive much longer and gain more accuracy, so they should get better over time. Panzer Grenadiers. Ooh, it looks like they're actually going to kill that one-man conscript squad. Can they? Can it retreat? Retreat it. Come on, Weckla, don't lose that veterancy. There we go. Does hit retreat. Ooh, dodges those Panzer Shreks and makes it out alive. Panzer Shrek still dropped over here on the left-hand side. Could be a little bit useful, but we'll see. T-34 taking some shots by those Panzer Shreks. The Panzer Shreks nailing it in it. And we now have veterancy 2, increasing the weapon damage and reducing the damage taken. So those Panzer Shreks are not going to be as effective. And we now have the KV-8 in the base for Onec. He's going to town on all the infantry, but he sees the Panzer IV and the Panzer Shreks and decides, you know what, I'm just simply going to back away. I am a heavy tank, however. I mean, after all. And the Panzer IV has a difficult time killing me unless he's shooting me on the rear armor. However, Weckla just stops him in the front of the base, which is exactly what you wanted to do. And there he goes, now finally retreating. Panzer IV will pursue, might actually be able to kill it off, but he does bounce that shot off the frontal armor, and the T-34 is there for support. And we now have combat engineers with that Panzer... No, actually that's another Panzer Shrek, so there's 2 Panzer Shreks that have been dropped. So let me actually check. Well, never mind, there's an engagement in the center. T-34 against the KV-8, the Panzer IV, I mean T-34 against the Panzer IV. The KV-8 is getting repaired, and it was the target of the Panzer IV, but the Panzer IV decided to retreat because there is an AT gun there on the field. And we now have the IS-2 hitting the field, so this should be it for Onec. Very close game. I mean, Weckla managed to pull it off at 17 points. Onec himself is down to 172, currently triple cap, so he will be bleeding quite soon. And with the IS-2 coming up, there's nothing that Panzer IV can do against that. Plus, with the T-34 there, I mean, T-34 could just simply go in for the ram and disable the Panzer IV and let the IS-2 eat it. Ostrupen getting mauled by the shock troops. This guy is going to go down if he doesn't retreat. He does retreat, but the shock troops try to chase it down, but no, they don't actually manage to finish it off. They will probably move in to throw a nade on this side. Probably what I would do.
Ready.
No, they decided to simply... No, there they go. No, I don't know what they're doing. Anyways, IS-2 now on the field right in front of Onec's base. Onec is repairing his Panzer IV. Has units all over the place, just moving around. These Vet 3 conscript squad is around there. We see a incendiary round being tossed somewhere. Where is that? Base? Over here? Oh, there it is. And those Ostrupen, but they don't actually manage to kill anything. IS-2 just moves into the front of the base. It's going to start bombarding everything. The Panzer IV backs off. Knows that it can't really do anything against the IS-2. IS-2 destroys the bunker. And T-34, I mean, the KV-8 is back there, it's just getting repaired. T-34 did get actually cleared out. Not exactly sure where. Where did it get cleared out? Here? No? Oh, I missed that. Silly me.
The enemy is down to 100 points.
Down to 100 points for Onec. Conscripts over here at Veterancy 3 will be able to, well, slap those Ostrupen around. IS-2, supported by the AT gun, actually sinks the Panzer IV just to add more insult to injury. And actually now it's just simply could, if he wanted to, move into the base. Still a little bit confused where that T-34 died. A little bit sad I missed that. But doesn't really matter at this point. He does have that KVA. The KVA should head straight into the base of Onec and start burning alive all that infantry. AT gun also moves up, works on that bunker, and the IS-2 is now right in front of it. More Panzer Grenadiers getting produced for Onec. He does have Shreks on one of them. The incendiary barrage landing right on top of the infantry. The IS-2 takes a little bit of a beating, but with the KV-8 there for support, it's going to start cooking alive all those infantry. Either run into the fire or run into the fire thrower or fire weapon, flamethrower or whatever. And there goes the Panzer Grenadiers. One of them gets cleared out by the IS-2. Shrek getting dropped by that Panzer Grenadier. He moves in to probably pick it up. No, the KV-8 throwing more bursts out, now going up against the Ostrupen and the Pioneers. Ostrupen burning alive on that KV-8. KV-8 just having a field day right now. Panzer Shreks still taking some shots at the tanks. Down goes the Ostrupen squad. The Panzer Shreks do get, the Panzer Shrek does get picked up, is what I'm trying to say. Pioneers do get incinerated. Panzer Shreks taking more shots at the IS-2. Combat engineers move in to actually repair the IS-2 on the field, and down goes the Panzer Grenadier squad for Onec. And I don't think he actually doesn't have anything on the field, so I'm not sure where my overlay went wrong. So, sorry about that. But, well, down to 4 points, down to 1 for Onec. So, very nice game here from Weckla. And very nice attempt from Onec. He actually did a very nice push there. He brought Weckla down to 17 points. But Weckla managed to turn it around and get himself a win, both in victory points and pretty much annihilation. Onec lost everything. And even if he didn't lose his victory points right here, he was actually going to get cleared out. Look at the base. It was almost dead. Anyways, guys, pretty good game. I liked this a lot. It was pretty well matched. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.